All these the cabbies carrying guns.
There's families here. I'm like, shove it in their fucking face, dude. It was so fucking stupid.
This motherfucker cracked a joke, and I'm laughing so hard I'm getting sore, physically sore, like I just that tensed up, like being bit by a fucking snake.
Let unleashed the most disgusting burp I could ever have let
Almost in a security guard's face.
go. To be like, you're like, isn't that funny? You're like, actually, that's just incredibly offensive. It's like, that's,
Yeah, like,
I feel very
it's just
uncomfortable.
like, hey man, you high? He's like, nah, I'm straight.
I'm
like,
looking
well,
fine,
I don't know
dude.
about that, because you can roll up that same motherfucking sleeve for about 20 minutes.
All right, welcome back to the Bros Goes podcast. My name is Mike,
And I'm Sean.
and on the phone we
And
have.
I'm Drew.
What's that?
That was fucking terrible.
Huh? Who the
And
fuck?
this is what?
What, Drewbot?
Your timing is fucking atrocious. We have Drew on the Drew Tooth. We have him on a big speaker this time. From the fourth best city in northwestern Pennsylvania.
Warren.
Warren.
Never scoring.
Fact. All right, so on
Correct.
Yeah,
this
you
week's,
fucking suck, dude. Goddamn. Anyway, moving on.
so on this week's episode, we are going to talk about a trip we took in February. This is the second part of our European vacation. We went to Amsterdam in the Netherlands.
Oh yeah, Amsterdam.
Old Amsterdam, not
Yeah.
the new one.
Not the new one. That's correct.
That's a joke for you '90s kids.
That was it was a really good time. I enjoyed it. So let's start. Tell me, Sean, what were you expecting? You'd never been to the Netherlands before. You'd never been to Amsterdam. I had been there a number of times by this point because that's where my sister lives. But you guys were coming in fresh. So what was your impression? What were you expecting when you come into the city?
So Amsterdam's one of those towns you always hear about, right? There's a mystique to it. It's got kind of a pretty epic, I don't know, history, reputation.
Spark up, bro.
Yeah, you know, back when like weed was a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I can go across the Atlantic Ocean and smoke that stuff. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm not really into weed, so that's not my thing. But when I got there, it was not the debauched party town that I thought it might be. I was expecting almost like a Vegas vibe. It was pretty much a walking painting about history and architecture. And if you want to get fucked up, yeah, that you can go there and get plenty fucked up, rest assured.
Yeah, they're pretty good at it if you want it.
What about you, Drew?
Didn't really know what to expect too much. Went to London a couple times as a kid, and that was not at all what ended up being what was Amsterdam. Knew there'd be a
Great
significant bit of
sentence.
history, but figured the Redlight district would be massive. And considering that's all you hear about when you talk about Amsterdam, fat and pot, and it wasn't quite as much as I anticipated, but I kind of, same idea as Sean, expected just a little bit more debauchery, other than, you know, when we found it later at night.
Yeah. Well, that's it. So I've been, I was in a similar boat when the first time I had gone there. You know, you hear Amsterdam and you mention to anybody, at least the United States, I'm sure most of the world, but especially where we're from in the Midwest of the United States, you tell anybody you're going to Amsterdam, the first thing they tell you is, oh, I know what you're going to fucking do. Yeah, buddy, you're going to spark up, you're going to get all stoned and, like, get a stripper, get a hooker. Is that what you're going to do? Like, they get all fucking worked up.
I think often, too, that's kind of sentiment is coming from older people.
Yeah,
who maybe
perhaps.
were, like, less sexually, like, fucking open. So, like, it's a fucking big deal. Like, oh, my God.
You can see a naked lady.
You can pay to bang.
Oh, my God. You
Like,
can't do that anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, right?
Like,
It's the devil's city.
Yeah, that's where the devil lives.
so,
Ice them.
if you go to Amsterdam, maybe in the 80s, that vibe would live up to it. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but like if you go to Amsterdam today, you are going to find a city that is just drop dead beautiful. There are canals everywhere. It's the Venice of the North, right? There's canals everywhere, beautiful brick streets, bicycles going every which way. Beautiful art, beautiful architecture, the buildings leaning almost poetically. But, if you want to get fucked up, if you want to get crazy, if you want to bang a hooker, you want to do truffles and weed, yeah, go fucking bananas. You can absolutely do that there. But
You can also do that in Toledo.
Yeah, you can fucking
if
do
you
that.
really want to.
You can do that fucking anywhere, really, yeah. When it comes to the drug aspect of things, the biggest difference between, like, say, buying weed in Amsterdam versus buying weed in Columbus, Ohio, is if you do it in Amsterdam, you go into a shop, It's very clinical. You do it in Columbus, Ohio. You go into some sketchy dude's living room, and you have to sit there for 25 fucking minutes while you wait for him to calm the hell down, and you can get a window to leave.
Yeah, I cannot watch The Office anymore. I can't. Stone it out there.
What? The Office?
Yeah, dude, it's like the fucking drug dealer's favorite show.
Oh, shit.
It's always on the back. That or Always Sunny.
Oh, man, have you seen this episode? Michael Scott is like
It was
talking
way
to
better.
Drew.
It was way better than Michael was there, but like I'll watch them all though. You want to stay and watch them all?
How
No.
funny is Dwight, bro?
Dwight's like got glasses.
Meanwhile, you're sitting here the whole time going, yeah, okay. I just want to leave.
Let me buy this shitty weed.
But so when we got there, so we get off the plane off of our Ryanair flight from Dublin, which was the first leg of our trip.
Fucking Ryanair. Like
Yeah.
this is the most tragic airline. Like, motherfucker, tie some balloons to yourself and float there. You'll get there quicker and be more comfortable.
I will tell you this though, it was dirt fucking cheap. We talked about this in our last episode too. It was so cheap, and that flight was just loads of beers opening, people getting fucking hammered. Because they treat in Ireland, and in most of Europe, they'll treat Amsterdam like it is their vacation getaway, their weekend of debauch fun.
It's like a Midwest person going to Nashville,
Yeah.
but like
Or someone from
a very less
California going to
historically
Vegas.
important, a very more historically important Nashville.
Yeah, more interesting version. So we get at the tail end of our flight. We land. We get off the flight full of already drunk people. So we get off. We hop the train to from Schiphol Airport into Amsterdam Center.
Yeah, odds are you're gonna fly into Schiphol, so heads up.
Yeah, I mean that is the airport there. Pro tip: if you're coming in from the United States, make sure you bring a debit card because you need a PIN number at the ticket machines for the train station. If you bring your regular credit card that does not have a PIN number, you're going to be SO on getting a train ticket, and that's what you need to get into Amsterdam Station, which is in the direct city center of fucking Amsterdam.
Yeah, kind of a minor thing, but that's good advice because when you're fucked up, the last thing you want to do is call
lost one of our train tickets midway for about half an hour.
Well, half an hour. That was, yeah, I somehow misplaced my train ticket while we were waiting on the platform, but I found it. It was just in the wrong fucking pocket somehow. That was pretty wedge.
Johnny Pockets over here.
Those €5 Heineken on the flight got to me. So we take the train in, we get out at Amsterdam Station, which is a beautiful train station from the outside. From the inside, it's very utilitarian. But we get out, things of note at the train station is the fucking 3-story bicycle parking garage, which is fucking crazy. And we meet my sister, and so she's there, she lives in Amsterdam. She meets us there. We walk over to her apartment, which is not that far away. It's this cool building. One thing to be of note, if you have a hard stairs, the fucking Netherlands is not for you.
Yeah, tough shit.
Yeah, it's like fucking climbing a ladder to go up the stairs there.
I mean, I didn't have a problem, but
Yeah, if you got...
I'm also 5'7", so...
My problems came at the top of the ladders.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But,
yeah, I bet they did, boy.
So we go up the fucking forever flight of stairs into their apartment. It's this beautiful apartment.
It was an old school.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
It was a converted old school into like a multi-unit apartment complex, which is dope.
Yeah, that's a very cool building. It's very beautiful from the outside. Something that, as an American, you go over there and you're like, well, this building is drop dead gorgeous. Meanwhile, the Dutch walk by it every day without giving it a second look. Like, that's
And
cool.
older than any of the buildings.
Older than our fucking country.
Yeah, that building was from like the fucking Dutch East India Company. It's like old as shit. So we get there, we go up, we say hello to Fatih, who is my sister's boyfriend. So hi Fatih, if you're listening. How you doing, buddy?
Isn't it?
He's
Yeah. So here, it's not a great big apartment, but they do have essentially a loft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean a loft in the actual genuine sense. It is above, it's like an attic, but doesn't have a crawl space. You have just a ladder to get up there.
Yeah, literally a ladder.
And this is where we stayed.
That ladder, by the way, is about fucking 10 foot tall. Like,
It's a genuine ladder. Yeah, it ain't stairs.
mm-hmm.
So our lodging was this wooden triangle attic where 3 mattresses were laid down. So Drew and Mike, being the bigger individuals, took the full-size mattresses, and I took the twin-size mattress and slept at Mike's feet like a dog. Which is fine.
The other thing that's fucking great about this is this attic space has no ledge, So if you got too excited at night, you'd fucking roll off and plummet fucking
It was
10,
essentially
12
the
feet.
fucking crow's nest. And, motherfucker, if you're drunk and it's 3 in the morning, you gotta go down and take a piss, you better be on your fucking P's and Q's, because you will go ass over appetite in a fucking hot second. Rest assured.
We ended up coming
straight into a radiator.
Straight into a fucking cast iron radiator. Split your motherfucking wig wide open. And then start to crawl back up to go to sleep.
We took to calling this space the Bro Cave, the Wedge Temple, as it would. That was a fucking fun time. But I'll tell you what.
Up in that bitch like Anne Frank.
Yeah.
Sean hit his stride in this space. He felt the most comfortable.
I think you hit your stride.
Yep.
Let's get there.
Yes. So, that said, obviously this is an accommodation that we have because I have a family member living there. If you're looking to go to Amsterdam, the Airbnbs, there's plenty of them. You're not going to find super cheap deals, especially if you want to stay in city center. My advice is don't be afraid to go a little bit outside city center. Just hop on Google for a hot second before you go and look up where the tram lines are. The tram system in Amsterdam is great, and if you get an Airbnb...
I mean, most of Europe.
Yeah, especially in Amsterdam, though. If you get one just a little outside of the city center, you can probably get one for half the price, and the people there, they're very nice. They'll hook you up, and you just hop the tram into the city center, and you'll have a good time.
And if you're trying to, like, party and hook up and that shit, dude, I get it. There are plenty of hostels.
Yeah.
There is no shortage, rest assured.
Oh, yeah, and if you're in the Redlight, there's hostels in the Redlight that specialize in, like, you're in fucking party zone, foreigner, it's a good time, like...
Yeah.
Like, they'll
Party's fun to party with. Wait, what?
But dodge the cabs at night, though. We've managed to go on a run around for about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Stick to the tram.
That'll happen to almost any country, dude. Like, I almost got that shit in England, and I spoke English. I speak English.
Yeah, there was a tense moment where I'm yelling at a cabbie.
Back in the day.
Quiet, Drewbot.
There was a tense moment where I'm like shouting at a cabbie because I know where we're going. We're going to Amsterdam Nord. This is later in our trip. I know where we're going, and I know he's taking us for a ringer, but we're all fucked up. And Sean and Drew are looking at me like, why are you yelling at this Dutch cabbie? Well, this guy was trying to take us on a fucking loop around the city.
I'm also used to cabbies carrying guns, which isn't the case over there.
No,
so
it's fucking Europe. They don't have any guns.
I was a little worried.
But it ended up working out fine. But back to the point. So we get introduced to the Wedge Temple. We're up there, and then...
In the attic.
And that night, we decide to go out. And whenever you're in Amsterdam, everyone wants to go see the Redlight. So Fatih is going to take us around the Redlight. I've seen this place a few times. It's basically a series of streets with glass doors and women in, like, gorgeous women in lingerie. Standing there, shaking their ass and tits and poking at the window telling you to come over. And just loads of gawking, creepy dudes. Most of them English, staring at what's going on. A lot of Indian guys. A lot of Indian dudes, a lot of English dudes. A lot of the lads. Tell me what you guys thought of the Redlight first time walking through it. So I'd been there. I guarantee. I know I had the exact same feelings you did because I saw the looks on your face, and I know they were the looks I had the first time I was there.
So the Redlight gets hyped up, kind of like the Strip in Vegas does, or Times Square. It's one of those legendary places, and everyone's all hot shit about it. But for a standard male adult, it didn't do it for me. I'm not about paying for sex. I have nothing against sex workers. It's just not my fucking bag. However, watching the dudes that were all about it kind of made my day.
They're great people watching.
You have never seen the look in a desperate man's eyes until a gorgeous woman is like, motioning, come over here. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, I'll print 100 euros and go in there, like that kind of look in their face.
I'm walking behind Drew and Sean, and I'm just looking at their expressions, and it's really funny. And Fatih's having the same look I am, and I guarantee you, I did the exact same thing the first time I was there. But neither of them wanted to look at these women in the windows directly. As a Midwesterner, as someone from the United States,
well,
you'd be gawking.
Yeah, the same way I wouldn't look at a fucking street performer, because then I know I have to pay him or I get fucking shanked.
But, so here's the thing. When you're over there, like, as long as you're not taking pictures or whatever, these women, that's their job, is to get your attention.
Yeah.
And they're literally in these windows. They choose to be there. And, like, so, you know, they're, like, looking away side to side as though we're on a busy street back home. But, like, it's, like, literally walking through the mall. It's fucking crazy. So it was very funny. And we go down, and there's a series of winding alleyways and places you can go. And the red light
Discount Alley.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Discount Alley before we get into our story. So let's talk about that.
So if I may.
This is a bit fucked up.
Yeah, a bit fucked up. Racism, I wouldn't say is alive and well.
It's the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands. But I thought it was pretty fucked up that Discount Alley was predominantly black women.
Almost exclusively.
Yeah, and coming from a guy who dated a black girl for damn near a decade, I took offense.
Yeah, it's not fucking great. The Netherlands is a place where Santa Claus had 8 black helpers until very recently. And
didn't they have those Negro cookies?
Yeah, that's the other thing, is all their fucking cookies, so they have cookies that were labeled Jew
yeah,
cookies.
Jewish cookies.
Jew cookies, they have like Negro cookies, and like they're labeled that way in a way that is meant to be like, they're like, isn't that funny? You're like, actually that's just incredibly offensive. It's like, that's,
yeah, like,
I feel very uncomfortable.
Is this like 1930s packaging
and
from
this is
America?
And like, and the Dutch that we talked to were just like, yeah, what's wrong with that? It's just a Jew cookie. And you're like, that's really fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
come on, get a fucking grip.
But, you know, it's the continent, man. Europe's weird sometimes, so you just gotta be aware of that. Heads up.
Yeah, but about the whole red light, there was only one alley that looked run down, and it was the alley that they put all of those girls in.
Yeah.
But again, to circle back to what I was saying about the people watching aspect, we go through one of these little alleyways / apartment complex deals.
Yeah. This is fucking clutch.
At this point, you're on the front line. These women are just standing in doorways, like walking through a dorm.
Well, here's the other thing. They lean out a little bit, and they'll give you this come hither finger and like try and get you to come over.
Yeah, they're not behind glass.
They're not bashful.
Right, yeah, but it's full contact. It's like walking down a crowded hallway.
Oh, yeah.
And none of us were going to do it because we all have significant others and it's not our fucking bag. But the English bachelor parties were different.
The fucking lads.
The fucking lads, mate. So, this particularly hammered group of lads plows by us, and there's a woman standing there, and they get to talking, and the lads walk off. And then 15 seconds later, have a change of heart and turn around and scream, fuck it, we're gonna fucking do it!
We're doing it! We're fucking doing it! And like...
So these men...
These two dudes...
barreled into this room with this woman, and she shuts the door, and I can't imagine what happened in that room, but I'm gonna say they didn't talk about it the next morning.
I saw this too. It was like this double room, and there were 2 chicks in there, and they barreled into the room, but like, I don't know if they were just gonna have a big old group event or if they were going solo, but it was definitely a fucking sight to behold.
I would say all teams were involved.
It was full contact. But I'll tell you what, it was super funny. There's this chavvy looking. It's winter, and they have these like Burberry flat bills, fur hoodies.
I mean, they look like they walked out of People Just Do Nothing.
Yeah. Oh, it's a bunch of like this archetypal chav, and they put their hand up and this guy points and like just goes, "Oh, we're fucking doing it!" I fucking lost it. It was so funny. That was great. That was our first proper lad sighting. So if you go to Amsterdam, be aware of the lads. So you guys want to explain what the lads are?
Yeah, you can spot a bachelor party in any big quote-unquote party city, and Amsterdam is treated that way. For the whole of Europe kind of treats it that way.
If you keep an eye out, it's like when you buy a car, how you see your car all the time.
Yeah.
If you keep an eye out for the English, you will see the fucking English. We
did see some Polish, too.
Yeah. The English are easier as an American spot because of the accent and you speak their language, and the English are, of course, notorious for getting just wasted and just going bananas. And that's absolutely what happens in Amsterdam. And that's not to say that that's the worst thing in the fucking world.
I mean, I've done it.
I've gotten shit hammered in places before. I've gotten shit hammered in Nashville, etc., Louisville. But, like, there's something special about the way they treat Amsterdam. And it's hilarious. You know, I don't have to deal with it. So to me, as an observer, it's funny. But that was always, you could spot them a mile away.
So on the whole, like, if hookers aren't your thing, I would still say go to the red light.
Oh, yeah,
just
check
for
it
the
out.
historic value.
And for the exoticism of it, right? Like, unless you have a red light in your city where this is a common thing, like, unless you're from fucking Frankfurt or whatever, like, you're not going to run into this in your everyday, especially as an American, or even if you're Canadian. You're never going to see anything like that.
Yeah, and like historically, we were talking to Faki and a couple local boys, and I guess the red light's just a shell of its former self.
Oh yeah.
It sounds lame at first, but you realize like, okay, people are just like more like less sexually fucking repressed,
Yeah.
and these women are getting jobs in other fields.
Yeah, it's about a third of the size it used to be, which is not the worst thing in the world, but you know, it's very iconic.
Yeah, the whole red light was just first floor only.
And it used to
Faki
be.
was talking about how it used to be like
Entire
you look
apartment
at just a wall of glass doors going up 3-4 stories.
And the red light is legit. Like all the windows are red light. That's what he's talking about. Those glass doors. Like they're all ringed with red light. But that's so that's something to do. That's fun. You got to check it out. That's a good walk around. You can waste about an hour or two walking through there, just people watching, seeing all the crazy shit, bopping in and out of bars. But there's another thing that we talked about in our last video, our last podcast, and we're going to talk about it again, and it's something we do when we're overseas, and it's an old game from the year 2010 called Bros Icing Bros.
Yeah, so we still do this shit.
Only when abroad.
Yeah. You can't ice domestically anymore.
No, we have the Amsterdam Accords. You're not allowed to ice on domestic soil.
So essentially, most of our trips devolve into just a big long anxiety attack as to when you're gonna get fucking iced and who you need to ice. So much like the old fraternity days, I don't really enjoy it, but I fucking love it. I don't know. It's weird, you know?
You just can't get enough of it.
It's like owning a mean dog. You know it's not good, but you can't stop. Like
as a recap for those who don't know, Bros Icing Bros is simply when you surprise your friend with a Smirnoff Ice. They have to drop to one knee wherever it is and chug it. And if you're watching on our YouTube channel, I will put up pictures of what we are talking about as we talk about them. But we call this the Great Ice War of 2018. So the first blood was drawn in Ireland. I iced Sean and Drew the first night out. And then the next icing occurred when we got to Amsterdam. Sean, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I just went down to the fucking store in the morning and bought a 24-ounce ice.
Oh, no, it wasn't just as simple as you going down to the store.
No.
Well, okay.
So Sean's
getting ready.
We're all sitting there in my sister's apartment. And the morning after we walk around the red light, we go check everything out. We're back at our place. It's the morning. Everyone's all a little groggy because we've been drinking. And then I'm sitting up in the loft. Drew's on the toilet dropping a fucking deuce. And then Sean I hear him down in the downstairs very quietly go, "Hey Elizabeth, where's the nearest corner store? I need to go get a few things."
I had to arm myself.
And I sniff this out a mile away upstairs, and I like fireman slide down the fucking 10-foot wooden ladder. I'm like, "Oh no, hey, hold on there, buddy. I gotta go with you." Like,
yeah, so that's how it
And
started.
while I'm sitting on the toilet, I'm just accepting defeat.
I can hear
that there is
everything.
nothing I can do from where I'm at.
So we hustle down to the corner store.
Yeah, so we hit the store, we grab, I don't know, half dozen ices, and I grab a big boy, 24-ouncer, put it on top of the ladder to the cavern that we live in, because I know that motherfucker's gonna want to get dressed after he jumps out the shower. And yeah, he fucking loves it, dude.
He fucking loves it.
So I finally get out of the restroom. They've already made it back. I walk into the main room, start climbing the ladder, as I know full well I'm marching to my death. my heart has already sunk a little bit, and I know it's coming, but it's like, shit, it's just a Smirnoff, it's just an ice. I can handle this.
It's only 9 a.m.
This horrible human being said, no, a regular size isn't enough. Please bring out the big guns. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. That's exactly how I want to start my day. 24 ounces of icy goodness.
Dude, you fucking love
it. The best part is he comes down just dejected, drops to a knee and starts chugging it. And my sister's boyfriend, who's Dutch, is like, "What's going on? What is this? Why is he doing this?" And just like laughing and completely befuddled as like Sean and I are goof cracking up. Oh God.
But I got my comeuppance. Just to be fair, it did happen.
It did happen eventually. All right, so after that, I got iced at a tiny little bar. These bars, by the way, I looked up what they are. They're called brown bars. I don't know what it is in Dutch, but my sister told me they're brown bars. They're these tiny little bars that are just a couple hundred square feet. Everyone's all squished together. Those are pretty iconic old school Dutch bars. From there, we went to a coffee shop. Sean stole an ice as part of the Great Ice War.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't steal it from anyone. I didn't steal it from a civilian. I took it from you.
Yeah, I had it in my pocket. I go to the bathroom with my coat hanging on the chair. Come back.
Motherfucker, you were wearing that coat. I took it off you.
Were you?
You were.
That's slick. I didn't know. I thought it was hanging on the chair. Shit. So, yeah, I'm made to drink my own ice in the middle of the street in Amsterdam, which is fucking wet.
And you thought you were so fucking slick. You're like, oh, yeah, you gonna ice me, Sean? Well, guess what I got in my pocket? Oh wait.
Shit.
Shot with your own gun.
Yeah, fact. That was fucking brutal. And then, let's talk about the canals for a minute as a lead up to what I would call perfection.
So, Amsterdam is known for its canals, just like Venice is. It's honestly one of the coolest things I've ever done. I know, spend the money, do what you gotta do, but take a canal tour when you go to Amsterdam, if you go to Amsterdam, and if you can afford it, do a private one.
And look, that's not as expensive as it sounds. We got a private boat for 2.5 hours for €400.
And you're not going to be going by yourself, like you can split it up.
That boat could have easily accommodated up to 10 people. Yeah. We had 6, and they had drinks, they had wine, they had tea, they had Heinekens. And that's the way to go. Look, if you're on a super cheap budget, do the cheap little €20 canal one. But if you're going with friends, if you're going to do it up right, put in your research online. You can find one for about €400 for a couple hours. You don't need more than about 2 hours to do the tour properly. It was clutch. That was perfect. That was the best way to do it.
If you're going to pay for the flight to get there, you should pay for the canal tour.
Fact.
Yeah.
Fact. That was the best part about that trip. So every trip that the three of us have taken, we've had a day where we're like, that was the day that made that trip worth taking it. And the day that made this trip worth taking it, more than anything else, was the day where we were out during the day having some beers, then we went on this long canal ride through the canal. Like, that was a blast.
And with a private boat, like, people don't realize this, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Outside of starting a fight and throwing bottles, you can...
Yeah.
They had, like, two big, like, I don't know, like thermoses of wine, like a 30 rack of beers, food, water, coffee, you name it. I mean, it was sweet. It was worth every fucking penny. I'd do it again.
Oh, in a heartbeat. In an absolute heartbeat. It was super fun. And Amsterdam is fucking beautiful. And it didn't hurt that when we were there in February, they had these big, it was called lights on the canals, but you know, it's fucking Dutch. So lights on the canals going. So throughout all of the canals, there's these light shows. So you're going through tunnels, and these lights are pulsing and flashing, and you know that just adds to this utter beauty of the city. And
plus, you get to see a lot of the city.
Yeah.
You know, from point blank range.
Yeah.
And
There's no better angle. There's no better angle than on the canals. It's stunning. And then while we're doing all of this, so in Amsterdam, we talked earlier about how if you want to do weed, you can smoke weed. If you want to get a hooker, you can get a hooker. You can smoke the drugs. That's great.
I smoked on pots.
Yeah, fucking do it. Go bananas. You can get weed.
I banged on hooker.
You can get weed anywhere in the U.S., and I guarantee you it's the exact same shit they have there. But there's something they have in Amsterdam that I thoroughly enjoy that are difficult to find in the form they have there, and those are called truffles. I love the fucking Dutch truffles.
Not a fan.
You were then.
It was the perfect setting to enjoy it. But
Yeah.
I have to go with Sean that I wouldn't wind up to do it again.
Yeah, me neither.
I absolutely loved every minute of the first 3 hours of it. And then it progressed into darkness for a little bit.
Which I would say
there was
maybe
a sad time.
Maybe.
And then things kind of had to rebound back. And I had to drink myself back into normalcy.
Drink himself back to normalcy.
Yeah, I get it.
That says to me we did a little too strong of truffles for year two's first time doing them.
He and I took too much.
That's the plain fact. But so on this canal ride, we did a bunch of truffles. We're geeking out, laughing our brains out. If you've never done a truffle, it's basically, imagine just pure euphoria and goofiness where you're just giggly and everything changes. You get all wobbly and strange.
Okay, I will say this. That kind of high affects people in different ways. Mike really enjoys that. I don't. I felt fucking vulnerable. I felt like I did 15 bong rips and did not really enjoy my experience. I wanted to be straight after, like Drew said, 3 hours.
Here's the thing. I think that's the problem. Is I think whatever we did was too fucking powerful because
I don't like weed either.
But this high to me is nothing like weed. Like it doesn't feel at all like.
You smoking
weed
shit weed then, bro?
I guess, man. But you know, so to me, like the problem was the shit we did was a little too potent. If we had been that high for about 3 hours, it would have been fine.
Well, you and your sister were laughing your ass off. Me and Drew just shut up.
Yeah, you both clammed up. I tell you what, there was a moment where you about threw up laughing.
Any of it.
I mean, there is that factor of shit's funny that probably shouldn't be funny, and that happened to me.
Yep, there was a moment we had been tailing this bachelorette party in a different private boat, and we're coming into the harbor. I see them in front of us, and they're like waving and whatever. I make just an incredibly stupid joke, not worth repeating.
A joke only I would get.
And Sean just looks over at me and like has a moment where he just glitches. Like,
yeah, I fucking glitched out, man. I fucking faded. Have you ever been at that point where you heard something so fucking funny, like it breaks your brain? Like it just hits all the fucking nerves at the same time and you snap. You can't breathe, you can't do shit. Like I'm surprised I didn't die, because I could not breathe. This motherfucker cracks a joke and I'm laughing so hard I'm getting sore. Physically sore, like I just had tensed up, like being bit by a fucking snake.
The part I liked was right before you started laughing like that, you just look at me and have this brief moment of clarity, go, that was it. That was the moment.
Yeah.
And then just shatter like a pane of glass.
Have you ever fucking like stubbed your toe and you get that like millisecond before the pain hits? You're like, uh-oh. No, like it was that moment. So I'm dying outside. And the fucking man...
Here's where I'm going to interject. For the last 2.5 hours before we get on this boat, I had bought 2 Smirnoff Ice.
Like a fucking assassin.
And I've been carrying them.
He's been sitting there
and
spinning them in his pocket.
Did not allude that I had them in
fucking
any
conceal
way.
carry.
Don't know how I did it. Couldn't do it again.
High as a kite, somehow keeps his jaw shut. Like.
And I see Sean dying in front of me.
He's just
pretty
he's
much.
watching him fucking hyperventilate. Like it's fucking great.
At that point, my fingers start twitching. It's like it's time. It's time to get this animal back for what he did to me.
It's also, by the way, like the end of this canal ride. We're pulling into the
sun's
harbor.
going down.
The sun's coming down. So it's all happening during the day. We pull into this harbor, and this harbor has canal boats coming in everywhere, and little kids and families and other groups of tourists.
Families, dude, children.
Ready to get on the boat. And right as Sean is gaining his composure, Drew walks up behind him, and then what do you do, Drew?
Yeah,
I decided it was time to execute him just one more time, and I put him back down. He was starting to stand up. Time to drop him again.
If you've ever played the video game Tekken, that moment where the screen splits and goes, perfect. That was what happened. There's this perfect shing, and Sean drops. Like,
so this motherfucker walks up like the Man in Black, hands me this ice, and I don't know, man. It's like watching your dog get shot. I have never felt so defeated. So I have to chug this fucking ice. I can't breathe. I'm choking down this fucking ice, and we're pulling up to the dock, and this boat captain's already sick of us.
He's fucking over it.
He's over
2
it.
hours. The Dutch guy's high. The 4 Americans are all with my sister, like all been acting like a clown.
So we're pulling up to the dock. I'm choking this fucking drink down, and there's a family looking at us.
And my sister.
And then fucking Mike goes, chugging that kid's fucking face, bro. That's the kind of impression we left on that child.
My sister goes, there's families here. I'm like, chugging his fucking face, dude. It was so fucking stupid.
So yeah, you should get a canal tour with maybe better friends.
No, don't. Get with us. It's fun. Also, do truffles, but maybe not as strong as the ones we did.
Yeah, be careful, honestly. Like, even if you are a pothead, like, just...
The truffles are easy to tell. We maybe just got excited because it was Elizabeth and I making the purchase, but the truffles, they're rated. So here's my pro tip. If you're going to buy truffles, buy the ones that are vacuum sealed. Do not buy anything that is not vacuum sealed. You end up with shit or laced stuff.
Yeah.
They're regulated over there, but they're not regulated as heavily as you would actually assume. So get the vacuum sealed shit, and then the ones that are vacuum sealed are going to be rated with this scale of planets. It's like 7-planet scale.
Don't go past Mars if you're a first-time user.
Yeah, stick with 3 the first time. The problem we went to 5 planets, and these fuckers got torpedoed.
Yeah.
I think they would have had a better time if we stuck with a more milder thing, because after we got back from the tour, Drew then led us on a victory lap around the canal. So we get off the boat. Sean, I'm like scarecrowing Sean off the boat. He's a fucking wounded animal.
He had to carry me. Like after a fucking UFC fighter gets like his brains beat in, like that was what happened.
Fucking carry him off the boat. And then at this point, there are now 3 people who've either lived or visited Amsterdam numerous times who know where we need to go. But we don't follow any of these 3 people. We follow Drew on a victory lap.
On my victory lap. I am marching, and I am Johnny Big Dicking this lap.
Johnny Big Dick!
Johnny Central Plaza.
Yeah.
Fucking JBD over here leading us a lap. So the Amsterdam Canal is like 2 circles, and he leads us on a fucking parade around one of these circles, doing this swagger walk like Vince McMahon walking to the ring, like
dragging Sean behind me.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
My trophy for the day.
Yeah, like you shot a fucking trophy deer.
Parading a shot buck. Yeah, like
fucking sweet, dude.
We get back to Elizabeth.
I'm not gonna forget that.
We get back to Elizabeth's apartment finally, and then we get there, and Sean clambers up this ladder like a fucking chimpanzee.
You ever just want to feel safe? Like, you ever just want to feel safe, dude? You ever lost a fight and maybe ordered some pizza and like sat at your house and watched like I don't know TV? Yeah, that's how I felt.
He fucking clambered up that ladder. Everyone else is downstairs, and I just hear, Mike, toss me a beer. So
I wanted a fucking beer. I didn't like drink off this high.
I fucking whipped up a Heineken, and like a minute or 2 later, I come up there, and just out of the darkness of the Wedge Temple, I see a paw backhand me.
There's no lights up
there.
Let's
backhand me a crumpled Heineken can that he had shotgunned by himself in the dark.
Sometimes you can't drink beer quick enough. I don't know. Like, who hasn't been there? Like, fucking email me. Let's talk about this support group.
It's fucking great. My sister came up. She's also buzzing with us, and like, so we're all up there hanging out, just bullshitting. I love that. That was honestly one of my favorite parts of being there.
That was pretty ridiculous.
It was like hour or 2 that we were just in the fucking bro cave, just
too high
dicking
for
around.
public.
But you know what? That was fun. Here's the thing: if that's where it had ended, I think all 3 of us would have been great. Drew would have managed to put on a shirt. We would have managed to have got our high going off. The problem was the shit we picked out was a little too potent, so it lingered for another like 2.5 hours, which is about 2.5 hours too many.
Yeah, we were high way too long.
So that's where we talk about if you're there for the first time, pick something that is a little more within your speed, a little more your speed.
Real talk PSA, don't be a hard ass.
Yeah, and that's where we fucked up. And if it had been something where all of us had been okay being that high for a while, it would have been fine, but I think we all grew uncomfortable.
It turned into a struggle bus for me, and then it turned into hyper paranoia for me. And just, I was dead silent for all of dinner, that we marched, the whole march to dinner, the whole dinner, until I had a couple more beers and like mellowed out. It was zero fun.
Managed to spit on yourself in that process, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, so Drew was so fucking high, he couldn't roll up his sleeves on his like button-up shirt, and I called him out because I'm looking for an easy shot. And I was like, "Hey man, you high?" He's like, "Nah, I'm straight." I'm like, "Well, I don't know about that because you can roll up that same motherfucking sleeve for about 20 minutes."
And he's been sitting there fiddling with his fucking left arm, and he's like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." He gets up,
he changes fucking shirts.
Like,
it's like motherfucker was too high for shirts.
Fucking put on a different shirt because we were making fun of him for rolling the sleeve up on one shirt.
Oh yeah, then he's like, "No, I'm cool, man. I'm fucking fine. Let's go to dinner." On the walk there,
which we're told, by the way, we're going to. So, by the way, Fatih, if you're listening, you misled us. We were told we were going to a fucking fancy
like
dinner.
That's why I put on the nice shirt.
Yeah, Drew's spending forever trying to roll up the sleeves on his shirt. You're giving him an anxiety attack over here. So we're going to someplace nice, which also puts the image in our head. We're going someplace nice, and we're all fucking stoned out of our gourd on these truffles. So we're sitting here going, "Good Lord, we're gonna be fucking goobers at this nice Dutch restaurant," which gives us a little bit of anxiety, and we get led on this parade through Amsterdam, and we end up at this
30-minute walk.
Yeah, 30-minute walk at the Chippy in the rain. We end up at this Chippy. It was
ordering at a counter.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what though, it was good food. It was
good.
really good. Like, he wasn't wrong as far as the quality of the food. but we thought we were going to some like a fancy restaurant, which that could be a failing of English translation. I don't know, but that was.
But let's not forget, on the walk there, again,
Drew
Drew was
spit on
so
himself.
fucking high. He's hawking up this big loogie, and I'm watching him because fuck this cocksucker. I'm watching him, and he just leans over and spits directly on his fucking coat. Like, wait, what the fuck?
He just fucking hawked a loogie on himself.
So I stopped.
It was a rough time.
It was a bad day.
I stopped the group. I'm like, hey, hold on, everyone.
Pump the brakes.
We got a problem. Look what he just did to himself.
Pointing at him. It was fucking great.
But yeah.
Oh, man. So that's a very long way of saying, get Turkish food when you're in Amsterdam. It's very good.
Get any food in Amsterdam, man.
The food was good. I recommend Fabo if you want shit food.
Hammered.
Fucking get Turkish food in Amsterdam, pick the right level of truffles, and absolutely do a canal boat tour. That is 100% the best way to go. It's the best day we had there.
Yeah, and like honestly, if you're not going to Amsterdam to get royally fucked up, don't. You can have just as good a time.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to get fucked up to have fun.
So to that end, let's say you don't want to do anything fucking bananas. You don't want to do all these things, or if you do, but you want to have a night where you're an off night where you're not doing these crazy things. We went to this liquor bar there. It was properly Dutch. Like everyone in there was Dutch. The vibe was Dutch. It was a good hookup. We went there with Elizabeth and Fatih, and the place was called, and I'm gonna fucking butcher this because it's all in Dutch. It's called In de Ulfsport. In de Ulfsport. IN space DE space OLOFSPOORT, and it's a Genevier bar, which is this Dutch liquor. And we sampled a whole bunch of different Geneviers.
Oh, that was sweet.
That was really cool. It's this building that was, and like we were trying to get this across to the Dutch we were talking with. They're like, this is not an old building. This building is not old.
1505.
It was built in the 1500s. What is weird about that? And I'm like, well, I don't know why they're German, but like we're talking to the Dutch, and like they're like, oh, that's not that old. And we're like, what? That's super old. That building is older than our country. Like it's by 200 years.
I mean, what was the whole thing? They had like over 1,000 different liqueurs.
Yeah, they had like loads of different, and there are a lot of very locally made things. I don't know if they made them or someone else did, but In de Ulfsport was
and it
dope.
wasn't straight spirits. It was stuff like strawberry.
Well, they were liqueurs.
Lemons.
It was liquors and liqueurs. They had it all, dude.
That was very cool. We had a variety of those. They have hoppy ones, they have fruity ones, they have everything in between. It was very cool. That was great.
And on the whole, honestly, like Dutch people are fine. I wouldn't say they were as cool and.
They're nowhere near the Irish or Midwestern American, but
like,
they were fine.
They are so fucking sick of tourists, and I can't blame them.
No, and my sister who lives there has this lovely take on the Dutch that they're polite, but they're not friendly.
Yeah.
And that's what I perceived as well.
Nothing against them.
No, and if
they're nicer than going to fucking Chicago.
It's no fucking worse than going to New York, right, where they have to deal with tourists all the time or out of towners.
Or Chirac, or even fucking Atlanta.
I haven't been to Atlanta.
Or fucking Santa Fe. God damn, I hate Santa Fe.
Santa Fe, Indianapolis, and what was it? There was a third one.
I don't even know.
Doesn't even matter. Canonically, Sean's hate list. But so that's a lot of the stuff we did in there. We went our final day. We went to go get a picture at the iconic I Amsterdam sign, and then go to the Rijksmuseum, and that's where the final icing of the trip happened. And it was a fucking work of art.
It was a public execution is what it was.
Yes, it was, and it was brutal.
Because you'll remember, I bought 2 the day before getting high. Before doing any of this, I purchased 2 for the sake of a defense, and it finally came up. Mike's getting all excited. He's like, hey, we gotta take a picture. You gotta take a picture.
I Amsterdam.
Sean is still pretty skittish. About too much togetherness.
I'm like an abused dog. I knew better. So they get in line for this picture. Fucking Mike gets iced, and it's pretty dope because it's in front of maybe 1,000 people.
So I'm sitting there.
4 police.
And 4 cops. Public drinking.
We're at the I Amsterdam sign, and it's this big iconic location. And so Drew and I are up there, and I'm just posing for the picture, and just Drew casually whips out this ice. I look down, I have a moment of clarity where I see it, pound it, and it takes me from hungover to, this is the scary thing, I went from hungover to like not feeling horrid, which is like a dark feeling, like I don't like that wasn't good. And then we go into the Rijksmuseum where we're going to take them to go on a tour with it. And as soon as I walked through the turnstiles of the Rijksmuseum, having just pounded one of the most hyper-carbonated beverages you could have, I unleashed the most disgusting burp I could ever have let go.
Almost in a security guard's face.
And the guard looked at me as though I was the most disgusting human being on the
You
planet.
might have been.
He was 100%
Yeah,
right.
he was pretty much on point.
I was gross. It was gross. I did not feel great.
But honestly, if you go to Amsterdam, I don't care what kind of person you are, you gotta go to the Rijksmuseum.
Fact.
It is fucking
It was
incredible. They have all the Rembrandt paintings. It's like 5 stories. They have an armory in the basement, ancient old weapons, ancient weapons. Like, the most incredible part.
sculptures, they have woodworking, literally whatever you could come up with that's your niche to take appreciation of.
Yeah,
You
Drew,
will
I
see
was
something that takes your breath away.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, like, the paintings weren't even the most impressive part to me. Like, the woodworking, like these cabinets and these fucking ornamental boxes and shit, and these sculptures. I'm like, good lord! And they fucking see the Rembrandts upstairs.
Well, and
like,
that's the part that, like, so the Rijksmuseum is incredible. You don't, if you're into paintings, obviously it's incredible. If you're not into paintings, it's still incredible. That's what's so great about it.
It's like, if you're into weapons, if you're into, they had a whole section of model ships that were built in like the 1600s, because they would take these model ships and show the king or queen, so then they could get a commission and the money to build the real deal.
Yeah.
So they had all these like legendary like model ships that look like the fucking real deal, and they're to scale, and took like this whole dungeon of the Rijksmuseum. It was nuts. Like, Drew and I were like, we couldn't believe it.
It's blown away. It's super cool. Rijksmuseum is a must-do. One thing we did not do that is also very cool is the Amsterdam Palace. That is unbelievably beautiful. We did not go there. I have been there before. Another thing that a lot of people, when they're wanting to go to Amsterdam, want to check out is the Anne Frank house. If you want to do that, it's fine. It's good to visit. I mean, if you're not particularly inclined to go check it out, don't worry about it. But if it's something you want to see, it is cool. It is worth it. But make sure you get your tickets online ahead of time. If you do not do that, you will be waiting in a line around the block.
Yep.
I don't care what part of the year it is, you will be waiting there for a whole day to see what is essentially an attic. Now, it's a very historic attic, and it's very cool, but get your tickets online, save yourself the wait, make it worth your time. So, all of that said, Amsterdam, we drank, we drugged, we partied, we saw museums, we took a boat tour, we had an amazing time. We did the culture, we did the idiocy. So all of that said, let's start with Drew. Should these bros go? Should everyone check out Amsterdam? Is it worth their time? Drew, what do you think?
Bros should go, decide what you're interested in, and just go for what you're interested in. You don't have to party. If you're interested in just seeing everything around you, you can't look in a bad direction. There's something there everywhere.
Fact, I'm gonna side with Drew. I don't care who you are. If you can make it to Europe, if you have the financial means, you got to check out Amsterdam at least once.
Yep.
It's way more than a party town. It was incredible. I mean, Mike's sister chose to live there.
Yeah.
I'm all about Amsterdam, dude. I think it's sweet. I'd go back tomorrow. If you don't want to drink one sip of beer and do anything else, you're still gonna have an awesome time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been there 3 times now. I've enjoyed it every single damn time I've been there. It's one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. I'd say, as far as the places I've been, only Prague is more beautiful. And it's gorgeous, it's fun, it's rowdy. It's a little crazy, but at the same time, like everyone said, you don't have to drink and drug to have a good time in Amsterdam. You could do anything you want. That town is beautiful and very cool. So, it's final judgment. That's unanimous verdict. Bros should go.
Absolutely, everyone should go.
Yes, totally.
Take your mom. Take your dad. Take your kid.
Take your mom. Have her wait up till 4 a.m. in the hotel and stare at you and go, "You smoked the drugs tonight, didn't you?"
The drugs.
That happened to me on my
All of
first
them.
trip. That
Yeah.
was fucking sweet.
Don't get iced. No one still ices. All right. Peace. We're out.
We appreciate it. Hey, one more thing before we're formally out. Thank you guys all for listening. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is incredibly helpful for us. We definitely appreciate it. We are also at thebrosgoes@gmail.com. Drop us a line, shoot us an email. We will give you a shout out.
Please hit us up.
please. Sean needs it.
I need it. All right, so it's a rough time. Okay, guys.
We also have an Instagram. It's The Bros Goes on Instagram, so check us out there and follow along. You'll get some pictures as we're going different places. So give us a look, and we appreciate you taking the time. Thanks, bros.
Peace.
Okay, thanks.